Welcome everyone to our short video proposal. I'm Sean Lipinski and I'm here with my teammates Mike Moore, Ryan Ellenson, and Dean Benaviste. This is our short video on our new proposed BI system for our company, Los Pollos Hermanos. A brief history about us. We are a fast food chain based out of Albuquerque, New Mexico that specializes in selling fried chicken throughout the southwest portion of the United States. As a company, we take the highest quality chicken from local suppliers and process it in our facility, where it is then shipped to be used at one of our retail outlets. We will be implementing this new BI system in order to better monitor quality and efficiency.
Going into more detail, the process we will be looking at include orders from suppliers, processing products, and inventory management. Starting with orders from suppliers, we are going to look at the costs that we are paying for the product orders as well as the overall quality of the products. We need to keep better tabs on how much we are paying for our materials and the state of the materials when we purchase them. In terms of processing products, at Pollos Hermanos, our employees have a strict set of guidelines when processing chicken. If the chicken is not up to the standards Pollos Hermanos sets, then they are discarded. We want to get a better grasp on how much chicken we discard during this process. Finally, we will be analyzing inventory management. Freshness is a top concern at Los Pollos Hermanos, and the less time our food spends in inventory, the better. Once the chicken is processed, it is bucketed, frozen, and put into inventory. It stays in inventory until the second is opened up to be cooked for our customers. As we mentioned briefly before, quality and material costs are extremely important to our company. The first BI driver would be that Los Pollos Hermanos strives to always maintain product quality. This includes a strong emphasis on the freshness of all chicken that is processed through our facility, as well as keeping portions of the chickens consistent with standards. Another big BI driver is to keep our material costs low and evaluate the true value of suppliers. By evaluating the true value of suppliers, we mean taking the cost of the chicken provided by a supplier into consideration, as well as the amount of rejected chicken from the supplier that was not up to our quality standards. This is a means for further consideration of the many other possible suppliers. Users of our system will range all across the board, from ground level all the way to upper level management. The ground level employees will be tasked with performing measurements. By that we mean scanning the barcodes, inputting order IDs, and performing the screening process. The managers will be tasked with ensuring compliance of ground level employees adhering to the use of the BI system, and make sure the BI system is being used and works properly. Analysts of our company will be required to consolidate the data source in the BI system and convert it into useful information. With the useful information acquired by the analysts, the upper level managers and the CEOs will be in charge of making macro level decisions and changes based off the information provided to ensure future success of the company.
So in terms of maintaining product quality, a couple questions we need to answer is how much of the product we buy is up to standards, meaning how much gets through our actual screening process, and how much is wasted. So this means how much is discarded when the employees go through the sorting process. So in order to keep tabs on this, one of the things we need to do is take a few measurements. And the first measurement is going to be accepted weight. So this means that when an order arrives, it's going to be processed, and then the amount that we actually use from that order will be the accepted weight, meaning it's gone through the screening process. And then, of course, the rejected weight is the amount that has been discarded or has been placed in a bucket, and that will be weighed afterwards. And that will be the percentage that is not used in our final product. And then what we'll derive from that is the reject percentage. And this is a simple equation. We basically take the rejected weight divided by the sum of the accepted weight and the rejected weight, that being the total. And that will give us a percentage of what we are actually keeping. In order to keep track of this, the dimensions we'll be looking at will be order, supplier, and product. The second issue that we're dealing with in terms of quality for this company is freshness. And the question we need to answer here is how long is our chicken in inventory before it is sold? And in order to keep tabs on this, we need to do a couple measurements. So the first measurement we'll be keeping track of is the batch creation date. So once the chicken makes it through our processing facility, It is then packaged in a bucket and then frozen where it is considered inventory. And it is at this time that the batch or bucket is created and registered. And subsequently, we have a batch use state. And essentially what this means is when the bucket that is in inventory is broken open to be cooked, at that very second it is scanned again. And by using these two date timestamps, we will be able to get this will yield the time in inventory. So it's the difference between the batch use date and the batch creation date. So in order to keep track of this, the dimensions we will be using are batch, product, and time. The final thing that we are concerning ourselves with are the true value of the orders that we are receiving. So the question we're answering here is, taking quality into account, how valuable are our orders and what suppliers give us the best true value. And what we mean by true value is the actual amount of chicken that we will be using for in our retail stores. So the measurements we need here are the cost of order and rejection percentage. So it's not simply the best value is the lowest cost, because that in some cases is incorrect. As we go through our processing procedure, we get the rejection percentage as previously mentioned, and this rejection percentage will be considered when we're evaluating the true value of our orders. So if we take the rejection percentage and add it to 1, this will give us an amount over 100%, which would be, in this instance, 100% of the price. So if we multiply the price by that 1, so let's say our rejection percentage is 17%, so that would be 1.17 multiplied by the order price, which perhaps it's $100. That would mean the true value or true cost of the order is $117, simply because we aren't getting the full value of the chicken that we paid for. The dimensions to keep track of this are product, order, and supplier.
Finally, we'll talk about the data sources for our system. Polos from Mono has a centralized database currently in place which will capture the necessary information for this system. Our data sources include employees, managers, and suppliers. Our database will capture information on supplier and purchase information, inventory barcodes with timestamps, and records of important products in terms of weight. The purchase and supplier information is already being captured. Barcodes will be placed on the batch buckets and scanned by ground level employees when a batch is created. And whenever a batch is open for cooking at one of our franchises. Finally, when we're processing the chicken, the weight of the chicken that is approved for bucketing and the weight of the rejected chicken is recorded after each order is processed. It should be mentioned that all this information must be scanned or manually entered in the database by our employees. It is up to managers to make sure this gets done. Thanks for listening to our proposal. If you have any questions, please comment below.